Okay, today we're going to do I'm going to show you how to do a size we're going to use size 10 to draft a bodice block. So please focus here and see how we're going to get the bodice block. First of all, let me let you know what a size 10 is like. Size 10 is bust 96 and hip 102. So we're going to divide this into, we're going to get the half of them and also the quarter of them. So right now, I'm going to get the width of my paper and also the length of my paper. That's how we'll start. Then, before you would get to that, you have to get your margin. If you go back to all the pattern that we have made before, you will realize that we made margins before the actual block. So I'm getting a margin up here. So I'm using 4 cm margin. So I'm using 4 cm margin up here. So when you drag 4 cm margin, you rule a line to get it. So there's margin up here now, 4 cm. Okay, so 4 cm margin. Then I take 4 cm margin on the side too. That's what I decide to take though. So I take 4 cm margin here, 4 cm margin. So I rule it down. So then I will check half hip plus 3. Hip is the biggest part of this person, so we're going to use her hip. So half hip plus 3, her hip is 102. Her half hip is, remember we are doing all of this in cm. Her hip is 102, while her half hip is 51 cm. So, and what we're going to do to get the width of the paper is half hip plus 3. What is the 3 about? The 3 is the ease. In all our block, we always add an ease. So it's half hip plus 3. Our half hip is 51. 3 is the ease. So when we add the 3 to the 51, we'll get 54. So we take it, measure it to get our 54. So this is 54. Okay, so we rule it all down. So we have this left here and we have this left here. So here we call it center back and here we call it center front. So we now check our length. We need length of 75 cm. So this my ruler isn't long enough, but I'll use it to get it. 75 cm, so I'll get, is a short ruler, so I get my 60 first and then get my 15 seconds. So okay, so I do the same here. I'm getting 75 cm. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now, so we start drafting our bodice block now. So we first of all get our point O. So we start drafting our bodice block and we start drafting from the back. Back will always be the first side to draft from. So from here you would do 3 cm down. Depending on the sizes, you can get below 3 cm, but for moderate sizes like size 10, 12, it's 3 cm that you will use. This is the neckline, this line we made now. So when you make it, you call it 0.0. So I am taking 3 cm down, 3 cm down. Okay, so you have to measure vertically before you take horizontally. So after getting this point, now 0.0, this is where all our other measurements will come from. So the next measurement we're taking is shoulder line. From that 0.0, you take 3 cm again down for shoulder line. This 3 cm down, every size does 3 cm for shoulder line. So this is your shoulder line. We'll still label it, but we're still taking everything down. So everything you're measuring from that 0.0. So the next one we are taking is our bust line. So from 0.0, we take our bust line. So for each size, we have different size, different numbers for different sizes. So we'll put out our size chart so that you can use it to also draft your own. So here we are measuring, the next one is bust line. And because we are using size 10, the bust line is what we call depth of armhole. And for the size 10, is 22 cm. 22 cm down. Okay, from here we'll do 22 cm. This is our bust line. 22 cm. So 22 cm, and is the bust line. Okay, so the next one we'll do is what we call the back line. So for you to get the back line, it is half of this bust line you made now that will give you back line. So half of 22 is 11. So you will still measure from 0.0. So you get 11. So this is back line 11 cm, half of this line. Okay, so the next one we are going to take, remember we're still taking vertically. The next one we're going to take is our length to waist, our waistline. Okay, so our waistline for size 10, if you check, I've told you that we're going to send you people the chart. So length to waist of size 10 is between 10.5 cm and 42.5 cm. But knowing how big the person is or small, or knowing how tall the person is will help you know what to use here. To use 40.5 cm or use 41 cm, or use to the end. So here I'm going to use 40.5 cm. Yes. Okay, so you can use something more than that depending on the person's length, height. Okay, so I'm going to use 40.5 cm. That's for her length to waist. 40.5 cm. Okay, so this is 40.5 cm. Okay, then the next one is the hip line. And how to get to the hip line is 22 cm down the waistline will give you the hip line. If the person is taller, it will be more than 22 cm. But I'm using 22 cm for a moderate size. So 22 cm down here will give you hip line. Okay, now let me put all the lines so that we can get them horizontally. Okay, so after getting all these 3 lines now, these 3 lines I got here, I will draw my bust line, my waistline, and my hip line to the center front. So let me get my bust line, okay. shoulder, back one. Okay, so this is our bust line. So I'm making it obvious now. Waistline, yeah, and bust line, waistline, and hip line. Yes, hip line. Okay, this is the length of the bodice. That's the 75 cm that we use to get the bodice. Okay, so these are the 3 lines that must be drawn to the end. So now other lines, we will now start measuring them horizontally. So let's go. This is your point O, and this your point O is also your neckline. So neckline for size 10, we are doing neckline for size 10, and that is the back neckline. And for size 10 is 7.5 cm. So here we get 7.5 cm, 7.5 cm. Okay, so 7.5 cm. Okay, this is our 7.5 cm here, 7.5 cm. Okay, yeah. Then on the shoulder line, we will measure our across back. Across back is part of the measurement you took while taking measurement of the bodice. So half across back is what we are going to measure, what we are going to take on our shoulder line. Yes. So let's check our across back so that we can check. Let's check our across back for size 10. Half across back for size 10 is for size 10 is 18.5 cm. So you measure 18.5 cm here. Remember, we're taking all these things horizontally now. Okay, so 18.5. But you cannot just measure 18.5. You have to be sure that your 3.5 cm is on point. Okay, so you take your 18.5 cm. Okay, so this is 18.5 cm that your across back, half across back, 18.5 cm. Please label everything you do so that it will be easy for you. Then on your back line, you also measure half across back. So let's see, your back line is 11 cm by vertical. So 11 cm, I want to be sure I get it again. Okay, so we'll get 18.5 cm also on the back line. So this is our 18.5 cm here. Okay, so you also take this 18.5 cm on your bust line. Okay, so half across back, 18.5 cm on these 3 lines. You took it here, you took it on the shoulder line, took it on the back line, and took it on the bust line. So after this, now you connect the 3. You connect the 3 of them like this. Okay, so you form a block here. Okay, so we're still on it. Okay, so now we need to get our shoulder line. We haven't gotten a shoulder line, but we have made blocks here. So we need to make this block to start looking more and more like the real deal. So that's where we are now. So you remember that you took neck width on the point O line, which is the neckline. So please, at the point where it is, take 2 cm up. Take 2 cm up. Okay, so when you take this 2 cm up, we're looking, you call it MP. That's your neck point. So on this shoulder line, we want to connect this neck point to shoulder point. But we cannot just connect it like that. This your shoulder line should be extended by 2 cm before you can connect, you can do such connection, so that your shoulder will be accommodated appropriately. So 2 cm. So now I'm connecting the two. I've connected the two. So this is your shoulder point. Okay? So with this one that you got here, please form a neck on that point. Hope you can see me clearly and you can understand what I'm doing. So I'm forming a neck here, so it doesn't look like. Okay, so perfect. We're progressing, right? Okay, so here we have done all this here. Nothing else to do on your back line. Then we come to your bust line. This is your bust line. Remember, I labeled it the way you will remember. So this is your bust line. So your bust line will be extended by what we call UP on the arm point. So the table that we showed you also has your underarm point in the table. So we're going to put up the table on our YouTube channel. You could find it there. You could find the size charts, and you will be able to put your figures the right way. So on the arm point of size 10 is UP, like we call it UP. So on the arm point of size 10 is 6 cm. So I will use 6 cm here. 6 cm. Can you see it? 6 cm is here. Okay, so we need to get an arm curve so that you can have a proper arm hole on your pattern. So we will use an angle of 3 cm here. Put an angle of 3 cm here on this angle. Okay, have you seen it? So now we're going to connect it to become our armhole. Okay, so actually you can use different curves to get this, and you can connect, you mustn't connect it at once. You can connect it gradually and you get to your to the right. You can connect it gradually. You mustn't connect it at once. Okay, so this and yes, we're connecting it gradually. Okay, and this. Does it make sense? Yeah. So we got our armhole. Yes. Okay. So the next thing we will do now is all of this we have done up here is making sense now. It's becoming clearer to you. So we come to the hip line and take our quarter hip. Okay, so the hip measurement or your chart, your size chart that you have, you will do your quarter hip here. So on the hip line, you will get a quarter hip. So the quarter hip for size 10 is 25.5 cm. So this is it. So 25.5 cm. Okay, this is 25.5 cm. So quarter hip is 25.5 cm. 25.5 cm. Okay, so you connect it to it. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. Yeah. Okay. So this is our back. Our back is done, but not completely done because we have so many other things to do. So, but for now, this is our back. So I will need you to go and draft your back and show me. Just like this. There's no dart yet. There's no waist shaping yet. There's no waist reduction yet. But this is what I want you to do and show me. So please, while drafting your bodice block or any block you are drafting, please label properly. Okay, so this is it for today. I'm going to upload the next video for your front because I want you to take a step at a time and get these things done. So let's go. Okay, this is the outcome of our bodice block, the back part. So this is what it looks like. So please put up your notification button and also follow my YouTube channel. You will be notified when I do videos and you will be first person to know. So follow me, put your notification button. This is what we've done today, and this is the outcome of the back. So it's for us to do the front will be here. The back has been achieved here. So I want you to see clearly and the figures that we achieved on the back. So this is it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so